Why did Sid summon me? I had a pretty good idea. He could tell I'd lost heart. Everyone here would have me take up arms. Everyone. But why go through the trouble of becoming a warrior of light just to fulfill the ambitions of others? In truth, I was ready to lay down my sword when Sid sent for me. That's the law here. In Palamecia, you fight, or you're forgotten. And that's just the way it is. Sid did claim this twisted world would reveal its true nature through his tale. Should I relive his memories? Will I be willing to once again walk the path of the Warrior of Light?
I've watched you trace back to my master's origins, back to the first story. I see a light inside you. It grows stronger.
Really? I don't feel any different.
I may be a Moogle no longer, but can see it. I see it shining from within.
If you say so.
Let us continue on. My master is waiting for us.
Uh-huh. Okay, welcome back to Mobius Final Fantasy in Chapter 5, Part 2. Let's see how Sid's story continues, right?
Ready for this? Thank me for ending your suffering.
That fairy with you doesn't say much, does she? She's such an adorable little thing. I've often thought that it would be nice to hear her speak. Even just a bit.
Hey, Echo. Sounds like you've got a fan. She's not big on flattery.
That's a shame, as my words were spoken in earnest. If you ask me, I believe that your fairy is being especially timid so as not to cause you any trouble, perhaps.
If only she was this quiet all the time.
Oh, I do hope those words were not spoken in earnest.
Probably not. I totally think he likes having Echo around.
Chose this path. Accept it.
go and check ahead. Wait here for a moment if you would.
He's gone, Echo.
What do you think he's checking on?
I don't think he's checking on anything. He's just giving us a chance to talk.
Maybe that's what he wants us to think, while the whole time he's out there spying on us.
You don't trust him, do you? I mean, it's usually all I can do to get you to be quiet, so not hearing a peep makes me nervous.
Were you expecting we'd all sit down to tea? You really need to take this more seriously. You're disappointed, aren't you? You can't believe Sid's origin story's just a minor scuffle in some backwater town.
I just can't picture the Warrior of Light arising from something so mundane. It's unordinarily ordinary. I'm keeping my guard up.
Good. See for yourself how the tale unfolds. Later!
I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Let us continue.
Yeah.
Perhaps your throat is parched. I would be more than happy to make some tea.
No thanks.
Yeah, it is very strange that Echo is so quiet here.
Chainsaw!
You're hotter than a volcano, Kupo!
How long have you been in Sid's service?
To tell you the truth, I really have no idea. We residents of Palamecia are not given to reflecting on the past. I know not when I came to serve at his side or where we met. I don't even know how I broke my pom-pom. I remember nothing at all.
Are you sure that you're not just saying that because there are things that you'd rather forget?
Such guile is beyond me. I live entirely in the moment, this moment. I treasure the present over fading memories of days long past.
That is very weird considering we are in some kind of memory world.
No mercy here! Eat this! Why? Chainsaw!
You're on fire, Kupo!
So, Sid. More of that story, please.
Now then, where were we in the telling?
Some tedious goings-on in your hometown, as I recall.
You don't mince words. As you say, it was petty rivalry that first set things into motion. But it was a certain event that sent this backcountry youth down the path toward my future. The path toward becoming a warrior of light.
From everything I've heard so far, it's hard to imagine how.
Delve into my past and you'll see.
I really hope so, Sid. I really hope this whole nonsense brings some answers.
Time for a luau!
I was born and raised in a small town by the name of Palamecia. The ruler of that town, Lord Chaos, proposed marriage to a girl named Sarah and was refused. In revenge, he cut off the water that fed the fields of the local towns and villages.
The petty act of a small man. So Sarah, she turned to you then. You were the town's best swordsman, no?
And yet, I was powerless to help. All I could do was listen to Sarah's plight and share her fears. In the end, she saw no way out but to accept his proposal and marry Chaos. And if the tale ended there, I'd have lived out my days as a simple farmer, never having reason to leave the place of my birth.
Obviously, that is not what happened.
Say goodbye! Darkness, engulf them. Peace and quiet at last.
Though Sarah consented to the marriage in the end, the rumors began to spread. People said her true love was not Chaos, but the town's best blade. And that Lord Chaos had forced her into the union, an unwilling bride.
Rumors, you say, but it was true.
It was the fool, Voice, who whispered madness into the ear of the humiliated Lord Chaos. At Voice's suggestion, Chaos held a competition of arms. If Sarah loved the best blade in town, then Chaos would prove he was that blade and none other.
The definition of a charade. They say the smallest bell rings loudest, and he calls himself Chaos.
He started out insignificant enough, in much the same way that I, the first warrior of light, was nothing but a farm boy. I had little appetite for travel, let alone adventure. If it were up to me, I would have never entered that competition. But my younger brother, Mid, he signed me up without my knowledge. My hand was forced. Looking back, I realize I was caught up in a tide, carried along by the fickle currents of fate.
So that was it? You were just swept down the path to becoming a warrior of light? What about strength of will? What about determination?
These things are important, yes, but there is more to the tale.
Unordinarily ordinary.
You're mine! Time to die! You chose this path. Accept it.
A word of caution before you delve too deeply into my past.
Now you're trying to scare me?
It's for your own good. My memories will be an assault upon your senses. You must endure the same raw pain I endured, feel the losses I felt. They will echo through your bones.
That does sound pretty scary.
We'll move on when you're ready, and no sooner.
Echoes of Eternity. So you're in the tournament now?
Now let's begin.
So this is the clash with Chaos at the competition, huh? Things are coming to a head now.
I know. A mere backwater brawl. That is what you're thinking, is it not?
I still can't picture you rising from this to become the Warrior of Light.
A backwater this may have been, but I was up against the best of the best in the competition. I did not think I stood a chance.
Oh, weren't you the best sword in town?
Perhaps yes, but stronger rivals had come from afar, seeking wealth and glory. Chaos and the purse he offered tempted the best blades from across the land.
Of course. He wanted you to lose.
It wasn't quite as simple as that. This was all part of a carefully laid plan. But perhaps you should see for yourself. Feel the heat upon your skin as you enter the arena. With your hands wield your steel, and with your eyes try to penetrate Chaos's ruse.
So this is what you meant by experiencing your past firsthand.
Haven't we done this before? I mean, not the tournament, but the whole living through his eyes stuff. I thought that was what we were doing already in part 1.
Eat this!
A samurai.
Time to die! You never had a hope of winning.
No. Couldn't we send us against Shadow Soldiers in the tournament, please? After all, this is supposed to be a tournament between humans, not monsters. At least the last round of these 3 rounds of the first match. Well, complicated. Anyway, this is a qualifier, right? This is the first, second round and finals. But we faced three waves in that first round. At least the that third wave had a human-looking opponent. Though I guess in a tournament you probably would have one-on-one battles, wouldn't you? Or all-on-all, or anything but one against
You ready for this?
many.
Chainsaw!
When you win cool. Kaboom!
I try, Moogle.
Winning feels great, Kaboom!
die! You're mine!
Kaboom! Time for a luau!
That wasn't impressive.
Well done, warrior. You have fought your way through the preliminaries with ease.
Couldn't we have skipped this part and jumped ahead to the meat of the tale?
You faced no real challenge, though.
There, I agree with you. I faced far worse than those opponents.
They were chosen to match your abilities.
So, it was a setup. For you as it was for me.
Strangely, I did not face a single foe of consequence in the initial bouts. But when the real fighting began, my opponents came from a different stock altogether. They were the best of the best.
I guess I'll have something to look forward to after all.
Perhaps. Oh, I was I am. Not quite what I planned, but it worked well enough.
Thank me for ending your suffering.
You should prevail against these opponents easily. You are far more capable than even I was back in the prime of my youth.
I've had plenty of practice. They love their fights in Palamecia. Actually, if this world is based on your life, you could even say you trained me.
You trained not at my hand, nor at Palamecia's, for that matter. Your own journey has made you what you are, strong.
I only fought to survive.
Such is life, whether man, beast, or insect. Each morning brings a new struggle to elude death for one more day.
Shadow Sorcerer. Well, perhaps we actually have human opponents now? Or humanoid-looking opponents, and shadows basically are your character's skill. Your characters without coloring. Your own jobs.
You're on fire, Kapo!
Raga Impulse.
Man, you breezed through that first battle.
My opponent didn't even seem willing to fight. I landed blows, of course, but nothing more than a scratch. No, it's clear they threw the match. Something's not right here.
Correct. Chaos fixed the fight. The question now is, can you see through the subterfuge to the scheme that lies below?
You chose this path. Accept it.
You dominated again!
They're still going easy on me.
I agree. Quite an elaborate performance. They showed their strength, yet made me seem stronger still. At least, that is what the audience was meant to think when I prevailed. To their eyes, I won a sweeping victory. But seen from where I stood, I had fought my hardest, only to end up playing right into their hand.
Curious. Also curious, the tournament ends at the semifinals for now.
The path you walk leads to your destruction.
Winning feels great, Kupo.
You're through the third round.
I've barely even crossed swords.
The crowd looks a little unsettled.
Mid, find out what's going on.
You bet. I'm on it.
I charged recklessly in, time and time again, yet their blows always seemed to glance aside. The crowd began to suspect foul play.
Of course they were suspicious. Your opponents were holding back. But why?
You'll see soon enough. Now, on to the next room.
Okay. That is weird. Assuming all went according to plan, why would you fix the match and then make it obvious? Obvious enough for the audience to notice.
So how did the competition end? Did everyone you faced just throw their fights and let you win?
Would that the day had ended so. Given the choice, I prefer a farce to tragedy.
So then playtime was over.
I'm afraid that, from this point, these memories of mine will be painful to bear witness to. I hope you are prepared.
Okay, but that will be next time. I end this episode here. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.